guys, it's Kara. Today I'm going to be filming a Matthew 10 Bible study. If you're new to my channel, as usual, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe or check out some of my other videos, all that. And if you're new to this series of my Matthew, Let's Walk Through Matthew series, go ahead and check out the first few videos I did on Matthew. Okay. Anyways, let's get started. So, as usual, I'm going to be reading the chapter. You can skip forward ahead, of course, if you don't want to, listen to me read, yay. The verses will be on the screen. Yeah, that light just went out again. The verses will be on the screen, so if you want to just read along, that's cool too. Here we go. Chapter 10, verse 1. And when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. Now the names of the 12 apostles are these: the first Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew his brother, James the son of Zebedee, and John his brother, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the publican, James son of Alphaeus and Lebbaeus, whose surname was Thaddeus. Sorry, I think I'm saying those names wrong. If you know how to say them, maybe, put the pronunciation in the comments down below. I think I also said Bartholomew wrong. I'm not totally sure. But if you know how to say them, just don't mind me. Just gonna continue with this. Okay. Simon the Canaanite and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as ye go, preach, saying, The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. Provide neither gold, nor silver, nor brass in your purses, nor scrip for your journey, neither 2 coats, neither shoes, nor staves. For the workman is worthy of his meat. And into whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide till ye go thence. And when ye come into an house, salute it. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it be not worthy, let your peace return to it. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents, and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. But when they persecute you in the city, flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. The disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord. If they have called the master of the house I'm just gonna put the word somewhere here. Also, no disrespect when I pronounce these things wrong, because, I'm not purposely trying to pronounce them wrong. Yeah, okay. How much more shall they call them of his household? Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and be hid that shall not be known. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father? But the very hairs of your head are numbered. But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear ye not, therefore, ye are of more value than many sparrows. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against his mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of water only in the name of And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of water only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. Okay, now time for the Bible study part. Yay! Okay, so of course it starts with the disciples being called by Jesus and being given power through Jesus against the unclean spirits and cast them out, and against to be able to heal all manners of sicknesses and all of that. And then we are given the names of all the disciples, which Matthew kind of holds out a little bit to tell us who all they are. And then it's talking about don't go to the Gentiles just yet. Go and not into the city of the Samaritans, but go to the house of Israel first. Because that's where the covenant was originally established. And it says, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And when we look in Jeremiah 55 and 6, they shall ask a way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people hath been lost sheep, their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. So the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and that's kind of like a reference to this, because they have they have forgotten their resting place. They have kind of fallen away from where God had established them and where their resting place should be, and they're not recognizing Jesus in this. And it also can be when you go back and look at Isaiah 53:6. Okay, I'm going to read 5 and 6. This is 5. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. And then it goes into all we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. And then I'm going to go to 7 because this is good. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he openeth not his mouth. And guys, you should really go read Isaiah. But it's just of course, prophesying Jesus and how, we'll get into this later in Matthew, but it's not a secret. So, when he's going to be questioned, he would be quiet, or he would answer if you think this that I am, talking about do you believe that I am this, or he would answer their questions and kind of another question, do you think that of me, not necessarily saying that, or he would just say, I'm not of this earth, my kingdom is not of this earth. Talking about his heavenly kingdom, but that's as a sheep being dumb, not being able to speak, is what dumb would mean in that context. that, like, Jesus telling them, like, how to go about this, kind of, like, the kingdom, go and preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand, and to heal, to cast out devils, to freely ye have received, freely give. So, like, we have been given this free gift of salvation, and we're supposed to go and, like, share it with people, and share the gifts that we've been given through God, been given by God, like, to other people. And into whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy. And so find the worthy people, abide with them, go to the righteous. And I like this verse about, like, let your peace come upon it, but if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you. A lot of the times, like, I don't do this in, like, every house I enter, but, like, I will just, like, pray for, like, a peace over that house, because, like, then you would kind of know, and then just to shake off the dust of your feet, because, like, if they don't receive you, I mean, you tried, you just shake the dust off of your feet, and you continue on your journey to spreading the gospel, and the gospel and the message to other people that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Jesus has come, and he will come again. Like, we just have to prepare people in that. And then it's talking about, like, Sodom and Gomorrah, who, like, who's basically destroyed, save for like Lot and his 2 daughters, I believe. But it's saying that for them, it would be more tolerable for them in the judgment day than if if a city had heard the gospel and still denied it, they would have a less tolerable day for judgment day. And then, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So we're supposed to be smart in the way that we preach, the way that we approach people, not trying to give offense, but to tell the truth and the gospel, and not to, like, necessarily go about just yelling at people that how, like, sinful they are. And yes, we are all sinful, but, like, the approach and just, like, altogether, like, how you go about things, being wise as serpents and harmless as doves, not to harm people. You're trying to save their soul, not condemn them to hell, because you're trying to, like, if you make them feel unworthy, because none of us are worthy. We have to remind people that, like, none of us really, like, deserve the love of Christ, because he is perfect, God is perfect, but yet he gives us his grace and he loves us anyways. And then he talks about, like, we will have hardships. We might, like, be delivered up to councils. We will be delivered up to councils, and, like, for whatever they do, it's going to be, like, a testimony, supposedly, against them and the Gentiles. But when we speak, the Spirit of God will come through us. And that's verse 19, talking about, like, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that day, in that same hour, what ye shall speak. This goes back to Exodus 4:12. Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say. So, like, the Spirit of God is the same Spirit that spoke through Moses, because we just have to trust that he will give us his words. And, like it says, he will, for, like, it's not us that speaketh, but, it's not us that speaks, but the Spirit of our Father in heaven that speaketh through us. I'm talking about how we will be hated of men, but if we endure to the end, that we shall be saved. And then, of course, like, how the disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord, is enough for the disciple that he be as his master and the servant as his Lord. And we are said to be like a child of God, as in, like, as Jesus is the Son of God. So we receive the inheritance of the kingdom of heaven, and, like, we are like our master. It is enough for us to be like our master, not to be as our master, because we can never be like God. That's like, when, like, Satan, he wanted to be God. He didn't want to worship God, which is why he got kicked out of heaven. We serve God in everything that we do because he is greater than us in every way. And we serve him with our life because he saved us from the eternal hell that we would have had to gone through. Then I find it interesting, like, what I tell you in darkness, like, nothing's covered. And then what I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light. And what you hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. So we're supposed to go to God in the darkness. You know, we're supposed to go in alone. We're supposed to go and listen for him for we could hear in the ear, and then we preach it upon the housetops. We have to be bold in that, to go upon a housetop. And that's speak ye in light. We're supposed to go and speak the light of God. We're supposed to be lights, because a city that is upon a hill cannot be hid. Then that a city that is set because a city that is set upon a hill, it cannot be hidden. And we're supposed to be that city for the world. And then it's talking about how we shouldn't fear those who kill the body, because what is our body? You know, it's just our flesh. We fight against the flesh every day in order to save our soul. And so what is it if they take our bodies, you know? Like, what is that? But, like, we'll be able to go to heaven forever. And, like, that's, you know, that's the goal. I also like this. Imagine, like, two birds. They're sold for a farthing. And one of them falls to the ground. Our Father in heaven knows. Our Father in heaven knows when a bird falls to the ground. And then he knows the very hairs that are on our head, that, like, they're numbered. He knows everything. He has our tears in his bottle. Fear ye not, therefore, ye are of more value than many sparrows, because he loves us. And then verse 32, Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. This verse goes to Revelations 3:5. I missed it just a little bit. It says, He that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels. So he will confess to his Father our names. We just have to trust in that. We have to pursue to the end, and we have to confess him before others. And, like, you know, if we really truly love Christ, if we truly believe that he is the Son of God, that he can do miracles, he is a way maker, then why wouldn't we? You know, like, don't we want others to be saved? I feel like that might sound a little harsh and direct, but imagine, this is how I saw it or heard it one time. Your friend is about to be, like, hit by a bus or hit by a train, you know. Why wouldn't you call out to them if they're truly your friend, if they're about to die? And that's, like, the metaphor goes for, why wouldn't you tell your friend about God now so that they don't have to go to hell, that their soul doesn't have to die, doesn't have to suffer? Why wouldn't we tell them? But rerouting a little bit back to Matthew 10, I found this interesting. Oh, it's also talking about, like, if you deny Jesus before men, he will also deny you. Him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. I feel like we can deny Jesus in public by our actions as well. Confessing and denying, that's usually with the tongue, but our actions, a lot of the times it's said, speak louder than our words. So who are you telling everyone that you worship if it's based upon your actions? Because it kind of should go hand in hand with your words, if you truly mean that you're a follower of Christ. But think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So, the peace of Christ. If you've been a Christian, you know the peace of Christ surpasses all understanding. Like, for me personally, before I even really started reading the Bible, I was, like, asking all these questions to a preacher that I know, and I was just so, like, confused in my mind and my heart, you know, like, nothing was really adding up for me, but, like, I would go to God with these questions every night, and, like, the following morning, that night, you know, I was so at peace. Like, I feel like I remember telling one of my friends, like, I have so much peace right now, because, like, you know, I had just been overcome with the peace of Christ in that moment. And, like, the next morning, the questions that I had weren't necessarily on my mind anymore because, like, they weren't my priority anymore. It was getting to know Jesus more, not, like, asking every single question that came to mind, which isn't a bad thing. Like, curiosity is good. Like, it led me to dive deeper into the Bible. But, like, those questions were more pointed to, like, disproving it, you know, not necessarily, like, of course, to get closer, because I had belief in my heart, but, like, where the root of those questions are is kind of where it was at. And I remember having that peace. Like, I remember it, you know. And then when I read it in the Bible, how, like, Jesus is the Prince of Peace, you know, like, it just, the God that I knew and had experienced, the Jesus that I had, like, had known, through asking these questions, through, like, encountering these moments with God, they went together, you know, like, the Spirit and the soul, the Spirit of God, they went together with the words. And, like, so of course Jesus is peace, but he's also coming, he says that he's not here to condemn the world, but, like, it's setting people, like, he says that it's come to set people against each other, and the fact that, like, if you love the world, you can't love the world and you can't love the world and God at the same time, because they just, like, can't go together. The sinful nature of the world. And so that's, like, you're setting people against each other, because I feel like it's because if one loves the world and one loves God, they're setting themselves for two different things in life. They're going in two different directions, and they can't, like, coexist in that. But he that loveth a father or mother, or it goes on to say, loveth son or daughter more than me, is not worthy of me. So, of course, God should be our priority. He should be our number one love, our first love, in fact, as it says in Revelation, like the church that has fallen away from its first love. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. Like, of course, you know, like, we're supposed to take up our cross and bear it and die to ourselves each day. And if we're not doing that, then we're not living our lives for Christ. We're not in a constant, like, mindset of humility and like, self-surrender, kind of. I don't know. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. So just, like, what your life is. If you lose your life for Christ, if you give your life for Christ, then you will find it, because you will experience the great life that you have to come, in eternal life, and the joy that you have here on earth. And then you receive the rewards of those that you receive. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. And then it goes on to the rewards of those that if you go in their name. And that's all of Matthew 10. I hope you guys enjoyed. I feel like this one is, like, a tiny bit lengthy. Sorry about that. Kind of sorry about that. And I understand that, like, people don't necessarily go to YouTube to do a Bible study. And I understand that. Part of the reason why I put the verses on the screen is because if people don't have a Bible, you know, I feel like the internet is so much more common these days, and people aren't necessarily going around shopping for Bibles every day. And some people aren't allowed to have them. Like, different countries, I feel like America is in its own little bubble, like, of not knowing, like, those religious restrictions. Because thankfully right now, like, we're allowed to meet in a church, we're allowed to worship God in public, we're allowed to have a Bible at home, and some people aren't as fortunate to have that in life. And so part of this, I enjoy doing these, like, videos, partially because it almost forces me to dive deeper into the Bible study. It makes me go through it, And then secondly, just like sharing the gospel with people, you know? So all glory be to God, and if you made it through this video, nice. My voice is kind of going out through just talking through the video, so if you listened to it that long, no, I'm just kidding, that's good. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, all of my information is down in the description below. If you want to DM me prayer requests, or if you want to just comment anything in life that's going on, anything that you want to talk about, like maybe your thoughts on the video, all of that, feel free. Yeah, I'm not gonna I should respond to your comment. Sometimes like people respond or comment weird things and I just like low-key delete them, but like it's okay. Bible related, totally not gonna delete it. Per request, no. But God bless, guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, night, whenever you're watching this. Okay, bye.